Okay, so we are on page 376 in the book. And some of what I'm going to be teaching today, the equation of the circle, I'm going to do it different than the book. So some of this is not going to be in the book. All right, so we're going to start with the distance formula. And we're going to use it to find the radius of a circle that's on the coordinate plane. So if the center of that circle is 0, 0, and say we know that one point on the circle is -5, 6, then I want to use the distance formula to figure out the radius of the circle. So one point is -5, 6, and we're going to do distance formula. So I can do x1 minus x2 squared, so -5 minus 0 squared, plus 6 minus 0 squared. So that would just be -5 squared, 25, plus 0 squared, 36, which would be 61. And I believe that is prime. So radical 61 is going to be my radius.
Does that say COP?
What?
Does that say COP in parentheses or?
Right here?
Yeah. What is
No.
Oh, okay.
The center of the circle is 0, 0. A point on the circle is -5, 6. For now, I want to just leave it as a radical.
What is P?
And when we're doing this, P is just a point on the circle.
Okay.
We'll just leave it as a radical. Yep,
So
so
from the radius, you just do the distance formula?
yes.
From the middle to the other one?
Well, it depends where the circle starts. If it's
Well, it depends if this, in this example, the center is 0, 0. So we're using that as one point, and that's a point on the circle. We'll do another one where the center is not 0 in a little bit.
So basically, as long as you know a center and a point on the outside of and a point on the perimeter of the circle, you can
You can find the radius.
You can find it using
Right.
iChord.
Okay, so we just said the radius was radical 61. Now, there's an equation for finding an equation for a circle when you're using the coordinate plane. And the equation that I'm going to give you is a little different than the book. I'm going to do x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. In this equation, h and k are the center of the circle.
How do you two centers?
The center is a point that has
Oh.
being named with an ordered pair, and that ordered pair is going to be HK.
So
Choose
H
H
is-
and K.
That's, I don't know, it's just what they do.
So
They
that,
do this for circles, they do this for parabolas, a lot of other things, just the center is often HK. We could name it other things, but we're just going to go with HK. Yep.
is H like the X value? The
Yes,
coordinate of-
H would be like the X value of the center and K the Y value of the center. So in our equation, our center was 0, 0. And what we're going to do is fill in the H and the K and the radius. So that would give us that would give us X minus 0 squared plus Y minus 0 squared equals radical 61 squared. Let's simplify this. When it's x minus 0, it's just going to be x squared plus y squared, and radical 61 squared is 61. So for that circle that had the center 0, 0, the radius radical 61, this would be the equation. to find the equation of the circle. It's just like you would be finding the equation of a line, y
Oh,
equals
like-
mx plus b.
So what is
You know, when we do that, we leave the y, we leave the x, and we figure out some
Is there
other parts
different
of the line.
forms? Like, would you ever, like,
so what's a
different
61?
form- to find the other?
Say that again?
And you'd use this if, they give you one of them?
One
Yeah,
of
if they
what?
said the x coordinate's 5, find
Yeah.
the y coordinate.
Wait, yeah.
If they give you one set of numbers.
No, if they give you one number, they
Yeah,
give,
if alright, find the coordinate of this point. If the x coordinate is blank, then you would plug it in.
And
you
if it
find
lies on the edge of a circle, like the surrounding.
Oh yeah, I see.
Another point on the circle? Yeah, you could, is that what you're saying, you're finding another point on the circle?
If they give you like an x
And the x coordinate is this, yes, she'd be
And
able
the
to find the
x
other
coordinate
point.
find
Yeah. All we're gonna have to do is write the equation of the circle.
I don't even know what's going
Oh.
on.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask you to write the equation of circles. So that means you're gonna have to memorize the, you know, this thing, the form for the equation of a circle, find the radius, and plug in the center. Yes,
Isn't that basically what you can do? It's so x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals x minus x2 minus x1
Yeah.
squared plus y squared, because you don't have to actually
yeah,
you don't actually have to
take the square root, cause you're gonna square it.
because you're gonna square it.
Yeah.
So.
But I would just memorize the
Take
r
square
squared.
root of what?
Because the reason is, the book is gonna give you an equation. And the book is gonna give you an equation like x squared plus y squared equals 9, and say, what's the center of this circle and what's the radius? So the center would be 0, 0,
y. Oh, never mind.
and the radius would be 3.
Y.
Because the equation is, well,
3 squared plus 3 squared.
x minus h squared, y minus k squared equals r squared. So they're telling me that r squared
Yeah.
is 9.
And then you can also
And my radius
you
is
set
3.
Y to 0 or x to 0 and then
Don't make it more complicated.
Wait, this-
All we're gonna have to do, making me really uncomfortable.
Right?
So say you had this equation, x minus 5 quantity squared plus y, did you say 5 here or something?
Yeah, I said both
Okay.
negative 5.
So the center of that circle is 5, 5.
Why isn't it negative
Because
5?
mine.
Because they're both, the equations both have negatives. The equation for the circle is x minus. So the center is 5, 5, and the radius of that one would be 4.
So the radius is just
The square, I mean, they're giving you,
square root
it. That's
of
r
what?
squared. So the radius is the square root of
so
that.
like on one of these. It's
Aww.
Okay, we're doing the packet, no, just this. The packet, page 41, part F. So this is the picture, go to that packet. And this, it gives you the 30 degrees and the 105 degrees, which is similar to a problem we did on homework, but they just drew the triangle a little bit differently. We have to find, in this case, we want to find the perimeter, which means I need to know these other sides. Jeffrey,
Can I guess what you do?
tell me what you would start.
It's a logical guess. Okay, so on 105 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
you draw, I think it's called a median or an altitude. No,
No, it's an altitude.
through the angle of 105.
Yep,
And that'll give you 60 degrees
yeah.
on the right.
Okay, so he's
44.
making an altitude for that triangle. And we know that since this is 30 over here, that this is going to be 60. And on the other side, it's 105
Yeah, and that
minus
gives you
60.
An isosceles right triangle, and it gives you a 30, 60, 90.
Okay? So it gives us a 30, 60, 90, and a 45, 45 right triangle. And we're given 8, the hypotenuse of the 45, 45. So that means the hypotenuse is equal to a side times radical 2. So divide both by radical 2 and rationalize. You get 8 radical 2 over 2, which is 4 radical 2. That's going to be this section here and the height of the triangle, 4 radical 2.
Let's see.
Now I have to find this other section over here. I know the side opposite 30 is 4 radical 2, so I need the side opposite 60, which would be 4 radical 2 times radical 3, which would be 4 rad 6.
Whoa.
And the hypotenuse.
What?
And then I need the hypotenuse of that 30, 60, 90 right triangle,
Oh, it's
which would be
8 rad
4 radical 2 plus 4 radical 2, which is 8 radical 2.
Why? Isn't it just
8 radical 2.
Oh, never mind.
So now my perimeter, they want an exact value, so I'm not using a calculator. I just have to add these up. 8 plus 8 radical 2 plus 4 radical 2 plus 4 radical 6. I can just simplify 8 plus 12 radical 2 plus 4 radical 6.
What? I'm so good. Alright, so when you
We're going to do page 375, number 34. No, in the textbook, page 375. Oh, in your notebooks, yeah, in your notebooks. So it's another one of these circle problems. Another one of these circle problems where they want us to find P. And this time, they give us that this is 45 degrees. They again give us that this is 1. And
It's a 45.
it's a 45, 45, right? So this is 1, which is the radius of the circle. So that means this is also 1. Right here is also 1. So it means my 1 is equal to x radical 2. So I divide, rationalize, I get radical 2 over 2. That's going to be both right here, rad 2 over 2, and right here. So my coordinates for P are rad 2 over 2, comma rad 2 over 2.
and P is that point up there, right?
Cross it over.
This point. We good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.